Once Fable fell apart as a video game series after the third title, people wondered if there would be any hope for the franchise. Gamers believed that one of the more unique role-playing games in the industry was buried forever after Lionhead Studios, the developer behind the main titles, was closed for good. Fortunately, the 2020 Xbox Games Showcase gave us hope for the series, that many believed was left for dead, with a teaser trailer. Teaser trailers usually don't show any gameplay, and the teaser for Fable IV continued that tradition with a CGI cutscene. No look into an enchanted forest setting is complete without a British narrator, precisely what we got with the Fable teaser. We follow a Tinkerbell-like fairy as she whizzes her way through the forest, only to be hilariously devoured by a giant toad. The shock value is quickly forgotten though, as the camera pans up to give us a view of the landscape, what many believe is Bowerstone, a much larger Bowerstone. This is either an indication that Fable IV is a continuation of the main series started by Lionhead Studios, or is a complete reboot of the series. With Lionhead Studios gone for good, it only makes sense for the series to get a complete reboot instead of salvaging what was left of the Fable franchise. It gives the developers, Playground Games, a chance to breathe new life into the series and give it the fresh start it deserves. It seems Fable IV and Fable will be used interchangeably until we're told otherwise. However, a quick look at the crest on the sword's hilt in the Fable teaser trailer hints that we could be seeing the Heroes Guild again. We're hoping they're going back to a similar time of swords and magic compared to whichever futuristic direction Lionhead Studios was trying to go for with the Fable series. All indications point towards Fable IV being a soft reboot. A soft reboot, unlike a hard reboot, doesn't clean the slate of the entire universe. It still takes place in the same universe while still having the freedom to tell a new story or choose a different approach. It looks like Playground Games is going to take the easy route of having Albion wholly wiped out by an asteroid. This allows them to explain why there was a regression from the futuristic approach Lionhead Studios was trying to take with the series. Lionhead Studios always meant for this fantasy role-playing adventure series to move forward in time. Everyone loved the original Fable game setting, but it all started going downhill with Fable 2. Even Peter Molyneux, the creator of Fable and the chief game designer, was disappointed with the direction Fable 3 took. It's not every day that a game designer is openly critical of their work, so we're hoping Playground Games learned what worked and what didn't with the original Fable. Previously, there was an attempt to reboot Fable with Fable Legends. That being said, that ended up being a multi-million-dollar loss that nobody asked for. There was an attempt to have a free-to-play online game or an MMO with the Fable series in hopes it would save the studio. Microsoft pulled the plug on that project due to the massive cost and lack of public interest. Lionhead Studios tried to wash its hand clean of Fable Legends to work on Fable 4. Still, it seems Microsoft had lost faith in the developers and hired another studio, which would take the Fable series in a different direction. Peter Molyneux already had an idea for Fable 4. He wanted to continue the series into the modern day. Fable started in the age of sword and magic before moving forward in time with every new title. He talked about the series running as far as Fable X. In the first 3 installments of the medieval franchise, the timeline went from a medieval fantasy world to the Industrial Revolution. Molyneux wanted to continue into a steampunk vision of Fable 4, making the franchise almost unrecognizable. While it was nice to see how Bowerstone, the Fable central capital, progressed through time, it didn't seem as if there was any interest in the series anymore after the game became almost unrecognizable from its medieval-themed roots. With Fable 4 coming under the influence of a new video game studio, it will be interesting to see which direction they will take. With Fable 4 coming from a completely different developer, the gameplay is entirely up in the air. Some fans are sweating bullets knowing Playground Games only has the Forza Horizon series under its belt. Creating racing games is one thing, but taking on the development of an iconic franchise is another beast in itself. Fortunately, it didn't take fans very long to dig as much as possible into the gameplay of Fable 4 to stir speculation. Personally, we're sure the game will be completely open world and move back to a medieval theme compared to whatever modern steampunk direction Lionhead Studios was trying to go to. There are also some rumors that Fable 4 will not have any guns, which is exciting news for fans of the original game. One of the more exciting rumors is that players won't even have to take part in the game's main story at all. This is similar to the Elder Scrolls approach of dumping a player into an open world and letting the individual decide how they want to approach the gameplay. For example, in Skyrim, players can explore a vast open world without touching any of the story. Of course, for anything in the world to change, the player would have to take part in the game's main story at some point, but we're wondering if that's actually the direction Fable 4 will take or not. There are also rumors of Fable 4 having multiplayer. We're hoping Playground Games implements this better than whatever Lionhead Studios was trying to do with Fable Legends. They're also going to retain the things that did work with the original Fable behind the Demon Door, indicating there's going to be some degree of time travel involved. With Fable showing up at the Xbox Games Showcase, it only makes sense that Fable will only release exclusively on Microsoft platforms, such as the upcoming Xbox Series X and Microsoft Windows. The main Fable series has only ever been released on the Xbox and Microsoft Windows due to its publisher being Microsoft Game Studios. Microsoft has also announced that Fable 4 will be available on Xbox Game Pass. That means those that own the Xbox Series X and are subscribed to their Game Pass service will be able to play the game for free. Unfortunately, hoping Fable 4 will release alongside the Xbox Series X may lead to disappointment, as the game is rumored to release in 2021 or later. Fable looks like it's going to be the soft reboot that people have been asking for since the last installment of the original Fable series. While there have been a handful of spin-offs and mobile games, nothing has entirely captured the original Fable's magic yet. That's why everyone is excited about this teaser trailer. We're hoping Microsoft has learned its lesson and guides Playground Games towards the direction people want. This will drive sales of the Xbox platform to compete with everything Sony is announcing.